Okay, so on the right-hand side, you see that I have a web page that is got space for navigation, which I'm not going to build in this video series, but I do have a feature image with a heading that I'm going to place on the feature image. But first, I want to apply some general settings to prepare a few little things for my web page. As you can see in my HTML, I've already downloaded a link reference for the font Roboto. You could use whatever font it is that you want to use for your design, but I've used the link for Roboto, and I'm importing four different weights actually: light, regular, medium, and bold. And it's important to note that I'm pulling this in above on line 6, right before my style sheet that I'm importing on line 7. So that's this style sheet above here that I'm going to start writing in, but that's important because then I can use that font in my style sheet. First off, I'm actually going to set the box sizing property to border box, and the way I'm going to do that is I want to set all the elements, I'm using a star, as well as the before and after elements. Now, we haven't specifically declared before and after elements in class, but I can go through that in another video if you want to know more about that. But right now, I'm going to use that to assign border box for the box sizing. And that's going to make sure that all the elements, when we size them at 100%, it's including the padding. We want the padding to be a part of the declaration of the widths and heights. Next, I'm going to apply margin padding to the body and a few other heading elements that we're going to be using. This is sort of like a reset. I want to make sure that paddings and margins are down to 0, and that way anything that I set afterwards will be something that I can control, and it's not going to be using a browser default. As you can see, we've taken away that extra spacing that was around the image before, and now the H1 also doesn't have any margin above and below. And then what we're going to do is we're also going to apply the font family. So here I'm going to put in the name, which goes in quotes because it's a special name. Or if you have a font name that has more than one word, it's important to just wrap them in quotation marks. Either double quotes or single quotes is fine. Just make sure they're both the same on front and the end of the name. Sans serif is sort of a last resort. So you put that at the end of the list. The browser reads from left to right, as this first one being the primary desired font, and then you go further down the list until you get to the very end, and we want just any generic sans serif font on the web browser's system to use if it can't load the Roboto font for whatever reason. Okay, so we have two rule declarations here, and we just reset some of those defaults. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to put this title on top of your image using a few different positioning properties.